माइक्रोस्कोप मंगाया है आपने? कहाँ रिपेयर होते हैं? जी,
ये भी नए माइक्रोस्कोप है एंड वी हैव अटैच्ड एलसीडी। जैसे कोई टीचर बता रहा है सीधा सीधा यहाँ पे डिस्प्ले करेगा। छोटे छोटा अपना एक पूरा पेट्रोलॉजी का है और 4 के सैंपल एक्चुअली और का सैंपल है।
Difficult task explaining to students because when you're looking inside
At the same time, the whole class in the beginning, it was famous for the core petrology. Professor Ganju, he was especially promoted core petrology here. This was the first type of studies only at Aligarh. So, studies on coal started at Aligarh. But after the demise of Professor Ganju, unfortunately, favorable for this power generation.
It can be blended and like
for metallurgical purposes we are still importing coal.
But repairing on the microscope, I don't know. But it is cost. But if you said I am ready to facilitate.
इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम हो गई?
नहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम
बल्ब का था शायद बल्ब नहीं आ रहा
लैंप्स वगैरह का रिप्लेसमेंट
लाइटिंग शायद
इसमें ज़्यादातर सोलराइड्स की होती है प्रॉब्लम।
अच्छा, इनमें कैसे करेंगे? हाउ यू गोना कीप ड्यूरिंग द डैम्प वेदर? हाउ यू गोना कीप द equipment?
These are required to be stored with desiccants.
Teacher, I have not purchased.
Yes, I saw the students of MSc. They will. In fact, they might become prime minister. From the news we are hearing.
Actually, I read the Hindu newspaper.
What channel?
That
gives you what's happening around the world. It is very broad-based news.
إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العظيم. This is a small surah from the Holy Quran. The close meaning of this surah is: in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Uddin Shah, Chief Guest of this function, Mr. Shahrukh, Shamshad, Group Captain, and Registrar AMU, Professor Chancellor, Dean Faculty of Science, colleagues, and my dear students. I am not going to in the details of this petrology lab, but very short because today is Friday and I have to find on the time. So, as everybody knows, that petrology is a sub-discipline of petrology. Petrography is a sub-discipline of petrology that focuses on detailed description of rock based on the microscopic examination. And since the advent of petrographic studies in 1828, with the pioneer work carried out by a Scottish physicist William Nichols, who invented the technique for producing polarizing light, the petrographic microscopic studies has been used to analyze the minerals and textural relationship of the constituents, maybe rocks, maybe minerals. Although besides this petrography, there are number of techniques at present used since last several decades, like electron microprobe analysis of individual grains as well as whole rock chemical analysis by atomic absorption spectrophotometers, X-ray fluorescence, X-ray diffraction, laser ablations, etc. are used, and modern petrological studies. Petrographic studies of rocks remain the most fundamental, yet crucial method of study which provide information about the origin and evolution of rocks. So, besides all this petrographic and all, particularly as a geologist, I know very well that in gemstone we have lot of synthetics are available, and by simply using the microscope we can differentiate whether the stone is diamond or is fibrous or a synthetic. One similarly for rubies and sapphire. Similarly for all the rocks and minerals, we can differentiate whether it is natural or synthetic one using the petrographic studies. So, regarding the Department of Geology is concerned, petrographic studies of metallic ores as well as the rocks and minerals have been carried out since the establishment of the department. And the Department of Geology, AMU, has established in 1946, has the distinction of being the first to establish coal petrology lab in India, under the leadership of Professor P.N. Ganju at the time, an outstanding geologist. And in the year of 1950s, don't know the exact date, Professor Rasool has begun the petrographic studies of metallic minerals and acquired the best microscope available from Germany and Austria. And in the year of 1960, and I am lucky that my teacher is well here, Professor Noman Ghani, meticulously built up the facilities for petrographic examination of rocks and taught the subject at the department for close to 4 decades. I am lucky that I have learned this technique from Professor Noman Ghani. So the Department of Geology can justify why we have established this lab actually in order to justify, take the pride in the fact that it possesses some of the very best equipment available in the department for petrographic examination of rocks and ore. So all these equipment actually is scattered in BSc lab and MSc lab, and we were having a very small petrology lab, and under 12-5 plan, as we have received grant for purchasing of microscope, petrological as well as microscope. So I got an idea, okay, why not I have to centralize and collect all the microscope either from the lab, and so that the research scholars and students as well as teachers will be benefited, that all the material is available at one place. So simply I have collected all the material and the furniture. Again also I have borrowed from the department, and I have established this lab. And I am lucky that our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Shah, has inaugurated this lab today, and I hope so that this lab will benefit not only the students but also the research scholars. They are doing their best in petrology lab. And in last I have seen that a number of research scholars have visited the other laboratories in order to get the petrology, to understand the mineralogical composition, and even for the photographic photograph or their thesis, they have to use the other labs somewhere in Dehradun, other places. So now we have established a perfect lab, and I try all my best to do for this lab, and I hope so that you will enjoy and you will learn all the petrographic, those who are working in the petrography and mineralogy as well as in economic geology, they are useful. With this I welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor. Thank you.
Registrar, Honorable retired teachers, very gracious of you to have come, faculty and my dear students. I have been very, very impressed every time I have come to this department. I find everything in order, everything in place, and serious work and research being conducted. You all are really, for AMU, you are the brand name, the Department of Geology. Basically because of the quality, quantity of research, and also because of the high number of placements, and those are very, very important. Our job is not only to produce elites, that's one of the major, but we want to make sure that the elites get good employment, positions of authority, where they can benefit the university, where they can benefit the community and the country. And I will continue giving support. This is Petrology. It's a tongue twister, but I think it is an important facet of the study of rocks, and I'm sure that the new lab would do a great deal for research. So congratulations. And once again, let me assure you of my unstinted support. I want the teachers to do 3 things. I want them to maintain totally close contact with their students. You must be available. I want you to produce as many research scholars as you can. So I want you to take the teachers to take on the maximum load which they can afford. And I want you to compress the time your research scholars take in finishing their PhDs. It's very important. If we want to be #1 university as given in my Vision 2020, I hope you have read it. It's available on the AMU website. It'll take you half an hour to read it. How many have read it? Please read it. You spend all the time on the Facebook. Go on to the AMU website and you'll get to know what Vision 2020 is about. If you haven't read it, I have given my vision statement. It's in few words. Inshallah, we are going to be the #1 university of the country by 2017. And be amongst the leading 200 universities of the world by 2020. Why 2020? Because that's when we finish 100 years. Our centenary is 2020. So that's why I called it Vision 2020. And why 2017? That's when I demit office. I lay down. So I want to achieve something for Aligarh Muslim University. I came here and inshallah we are going to make it #1 university. But I want the teachers and the students, I want help. I've already told what I want from teachers. And another thing I forgot. You must get as many, what do you call that? Projects. Try and get as many projects as possible. I want every teacher to have at least one on hand. When I meet you next, I'm going to ask you how many projects you brought in for the university. Okay? Because that's the only way you will get funding and things will improve. The face of AMU will change if you get the projects, if you get the funds. Funds are limited. Government is not, it is devoting a lot of money to education, but they want to raise 1,000 universities. So whatever money we've got will be spread very thinly. So we've got to try and get as much money as we can through projects and the teachers. Next, I want students to take whatever they are doing seriously. I don't want them to indulge in rowdyism, hooliganism, and other activities. You are here to study. You are here to study. That's why what your parents have sent you for. And I have been very, very impressed by our students. Aligarh Muslim University students are top line. They've got the energy, they've got the drive, they've got the determination. They just need a little more to polish themselves up. Polish is what is required. You got it all. You know, like a huge lot of brass. Usko majna hai. You got to polish it up, make it into gold. I'm an alchemist and I turn base metals into gold. Not that you're base, but I'm going to turn you into gold. God bless you.